Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel where we react to the latest and greatest Island videos, and it's episode 6 today. How exciting. Now when you think of episode 6 you don't necessarily think that that's many episodes, but that's 1.5 months. I can't believe that we've been on this journey for 1.5 months together, guys. So let's look forward to the next 1.5. Now with this episode there's a lot of important things that went on in this episode, but it's also very short as well. It's about 20 to 30 seconds less than every other episode before it, but that doesn't make it any less important. Now before we get started, I've got some exciting news. I'm officially cancelled! Yay! Yes, that's right, after my last video I received my first cancelled comment, and I'd just like to thank all the haters and the appreciators for getting me this far. Now, as usual, the comment section is all yours, so please feel free to give me feedback. I know you love doing that. So I look forward to seeing all your comments in the section below. Now, of course, I will be giving my thoughts and opinions along the way. I know how much you love them. And I will leave some timestamps up here, or you can just choose from the loading bar, which is separated into chapters so you can skip right to your favorite part. Now, before we get into anything, as usual, we need you to vote. That everybody in Island needs you to vote. All 16 members that are in the grounds, 10 of them are going to get eliminated. So please, you've got less than 24 hours left. Pause this video, log into the Weverse app and make your vote count. Your vote matters, and your opinion matters. So let's get into episode 6. Now everybody, if we could please have a moment of silence. One of the Island members are no longer in the competition already. At the bottom of the voting page it says, "We regret to inform you that due to unforeseen personal circumstances, Yoonwon has withdrawn from the competition." No! Yoonwon, why?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night?
But like I literally said in my last video, pray for Yoonwon, give Yoonwon some screen time, and now he's not even in the competition anymore. Like, pray for Yoonwon. Yoonwon, you are just too precious for this world, and I hope wherever you are you're staying safe, and hopefully we'll see you somewhere in Pledis Entertainment. Let's get it. Okay, first off let's talk about Heesung and Jungwon. Now when the Islands are training for their performance, Jungwon had one of the main parts, and then when Zico and the other producer are critiquing their performance, they say to Jungwon, "Oh, it's not that we don't like you, but we just need someone with a bit more personality and charisma." I'm just like, well, why don't you just say you don't like him then? Now, after this whole decision-making thing goes down, my heart really goes out to Jungwon because he really wants to do the best that he possibly can. But I also really want to shout out to Jae and Heesung because they really helped embrace Jungwon and they really wanted him to make his own decision. I especially love the way that Jae was almost being like a father figure to Jungwon when he was practicing and learning the chorus. Jae's like, "What parts are you learning? No, don't learn anybody else's parts, learn your parts." So I really appreciate Jae sticking up for Jungwon, and I really think that Jae's really showing a lot of leadership qualities, so I'm really impressed with him. So Jae and Heesung, 감사합니다, 감사합니다. Another thing I wanted to point out was every Island performance, they always seem to use Heesung as a crutch. Now, of course, Heesung is very talented. He's been one of the members for the longest times as a trainee, but I really feel like that other people should be able to give some others to shine. Like Heesung can obviously shine on his own. They can't just expect Heesung to get them through every single time being in one of the main positions. There needs to be some kind of flexibility. Now for some reason this episode is already short enough as it is, but there's this whole segment about how they think there's ghosts in the island, and there's two things you just need to take away from that. Jake is having a shower with EJ, and Sion is talking about ghosts to try and stay relevant. Now I'm not sure if it's coincidence or not, but there's EJ who seems to have sprained his ankle or something. There's Kay whose throat has been hurting for the past 2 days, and then something happened to Yoonwon as well, and Yoonwon left the competition entirely. So I really hope that they rest up, and I really hope the producers actually give them some time to heal and just do nothing for a day. Like just for a day, take them to Nami Island or Jeju or something like that, just get their mind out of the game. So everybody, let's jump straight into the first performance. Islanders perform I and Credible, which took them a long time to think of that name, but let's see how they perform and let's critique along the way.
Tonight.
my man K front and center. If you want to know where K-pop came from, well, it came from this man right here. And he'd be looking fine tonight. And oh, Jungwon just knocked it out of the park. Like, seriously, he's got the facial expressions, he's got the hard-hitting hands, he's got like everything. I'm just like so proud of Jungwon. Like, Jungwon just deserves everything. I'm so glad he switched places, which really shows like maturity within him to kind of give up that role for somebody else. But also for all the things that everybody said he couldn't do, he did. So Jungwon, good on you, Jungwon. So proud of you. Just keep being you. Now, I didn't even notice the first time around, but watch K do this move. Like he's getting all single ladies up in here. Now, no shade, one of the best thing about all these performances is at the end, when they all have to stand still and breathe heavily into the microphone and make intense eye contact with you. Now, if you asked me what my 3 top people are, which, let's face it, you didn't, my top 3 would be Jungwon, Jae, and of course my man K. Now, I know K had a throat problem, but the way he does this popping, locking thing is just like really making my head spin. Alright, let's move on to the voting, and I'm really not sure how to feel about this. So I don't think it's really fair that right before each member votes, they get shown exactly what points every other member got, including themselves. And of course, for the 3 top members, I got 2 out of 3 of them correct. We have Jungwon, Jae, and Sehun. And I really love Sunghoon so much, like he's really just such a king and he really deserves it as well. So there's 6 people that get voted out. The first 3 as voted by the Islanders are Jaebom, Kyungmin, and Youngbin. And I'm really not too surprised at those 3 because I feel like that those 3 have kind of been a little bit more in the background and not as promising as some of the other members. So I'm not too surprised at that. Now, I think these Islanders that are getting voted out by the producers are going to take it a bit harder on themselves because it's up to the producers that are actually voting them out instead of the Islanders. So the producers end up voting out Sion, EJ, and Gyeonu, and to be honest, out of everybody else that's still in Island, I'm not too surprised at those 3 either. Now, out of these 6 people that are going to the grounds, my heart really goes out to Sion because Sion's pretty much the only person who has been in Island the longest, for almost the whole series. And I feel like he just looks so out of place, and I feel like he really needs to get his feet in the ground now. And I just really hope that he can get that in time before the performance. Alright, now jumping into the final 16 grounds performance, there's something that nobody's talking about this performance and I really need to bring it up. Now, as we know, Islanders and the Grounds need to perform their own version of Incredible. Now, when I saw the Grounders go onto the stage, lined up in sets of 8, I'm thinking, wait a minute, this performance was 12 people in Island. How can it be 16 people in the Grounds? But it was even worse, it wasn't 16, it was 2 lots of 8. I needed to go earlier in the episode. It's around about the 20-minute mark, where there's a brief moment where Sunu is looking at the TV, trying to learn a dance for 12 people. So where did they learn the dance for 8 people? Now, in the lead up to this dance, there was about 5 minutes of the members picking positions and trying out for who's going to be in the first position. But from what I saw, at no point in time did they show a dance for 8 people. Now, there's several things about this part that don't make sense. Now, the thing is, did they have a dance for 8 people and a dance for 12 people? And if they did indeed want the Grounds to dance with 8 people in each group, why were they learning a performance for 12 people? And also, I think it's really, really unfair that the 6 people that get voted out of Island to the Grounds need to perform again in another group of 8. So what this means is that not only did 6 Island members get voted out of the ground for performing Incredible, they also need to perform it again separately in 2 groups of 8 in the Grounds as well. Like, if they need to perform twice and then try to make themselves shown in a group of 16 people divided into 8, Oh my god, I'm just like so riled up and frustrated at this. Like I'm just heated, like the fire is in me. But what frustrates me is that at the end, instead of showing 2 whole performances of each group of 8, they combine the 2 and don't even tell you that they're combining the 2. Literally in the middle of the final dance for the grounds, which, by the way, is the dance that determines whether they get eliminated entirely out of the show. They split the performance right in the middle between 2 groups of 8. Like, can we just take a moment to let that marinade? Like, can we just take a moment to settle in and just realize that 6 of these people are going to be voted out? They only got to show half of the performance, and at the end of the performance, all 16 of them are dancing. Like, what is this? Produce 101? And then it ends, and then they say, oh, by the way, you've got 48 hours to vote for these 16 people. It was all a blur. And the most frustrating thing is that this episode was barely an hour long. They could have easily spent an extra 20 minutes to show either 2 full performances, or show how they got the voting, or show how they actually trained and picked the members for each performance. But I just feel like the last 20 minutes has been squished in so much for the episode, when first, it didn't need to be squished, and second of all, everybody deserves their right to perform. And I feel like that so many people have had so little screen time, the fact that you're just throwing it away in the last 5 minutes of this episode and then expecting people to vote? Like, you would literally need to go into YouTube and watch the individual fan cam of your favorites or every member to actually get a full realization of what they're capable of and how they performed. And let's not get started about how all the fan cams are from the belly button up. Like, how are you supposed to see any footwork? And I'm just there's just editing decisions like this that don't make sense. And if the episodes are generally 1 hour, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes long, then at least allocate that time to help everybody that's watching make an informed decision. Which they're not doing. So I really feel like that the ending of this episode is almost as bad as the ending of the last one. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate each and every one of you, regardless of what you write down below. And I can't wait to see the next episode with you. I really think the next episode is going to be a bit heartbreaking, so grab the tissues. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you on the next Island video. It won't be too far away. Bye, guys.